Welcome to Abracadabra TV. The magic is here.
Hi everybody, my name's Ambi Kavanaugh and I'm thrilled to be here with you all today at the start of this new year to share some insights on the astrology of the year ahead and what to expect and how we can work with these energies, as well as to share with you all a short but sweet sound bath with my alchemy gemstone balls, which you can see here, hopefully helping you to meditate and align with the consciousness of 2021 and plant some seeds so that you have a good year ahead. But first off, I wanted to start off with talking about astrology. So the unique form of astrology that I practice is called soul astrology. And soul astrology tells us that everything that happens in the universe, everything that happens in astrology with all the planetary activities, is there to help us to grow and is there to help us to not only grow as individuals, but for humanity, for greater society to evolve into the next level of life. And in this, soul astrology teaches us that we are constantly co-creating with the cosmos. So it's not as though these events take place and happen and we are at the whim or mercy of them, but we can understand what's happening in the cosmos, even if it's challenging, and we can understand what that's asking of each of us as individuals and of us as a society as a whole, and we can work with those energies to overcome challenges and to manifest things that we desire, including improvements in greater society. So, before I talk about 2021, we kind of have to go backwards and we have to look at 2020. Because I know that all of us astrologers saw that 2020 was going to be an unprecedented year because of the rare configuration, this astrological aspect that took place at the beginning of the year, in around January 10th, 2020, which was the meeting of the planet Pluto, which is death, destruction, rebirth, deep transformation that allows for rebirth, and the planet Saturn, which is about responsibility, karma, structures, and a very karmic planet actually. And these two meeting together in Capricorn, which is a planet that rules all sort of our structures and authority figures, and all the things that we rely on in society in many ways. With these two planets meeting up together in Capricorn, it was almost as though a car crash was taking place, a cosmic car crash. And as we all now know, that cosmic car crash took place and we all had to deal with coronavirus and all the implications from that. And so that sort of set the tone for 2020. Now, I certainly did not see a virus being something that we would be having to handle and deal with. I just knew that something monumental and unprecedented would take place, which would shake up every level of society and would impact all of us as individuals, as well as greater society at large. So, that was the energy of 2020, and it started with that, and obviously that coloured the entire year. But at the end of 2020, I'm sure you've probably heard about this, there was the Great Conjunction took place, and this was the meeting of Jupiter and Saturn. So at the beginning of the year, you had Pluto and Saturn, kind of these two heavyweights, and at the end of the year, you had Saturn, who has now moved into a new sign, and Jupiter, who is the healer, the miracle maker, and the expander of the cosmos. So if you think of it as though at the end of 2020, a sort of destruction button was pushed at the beginning of the year, cosmically, that forced lots of change and that brought a lot of hardship to everyone. At the end of 2020, we got this reset button that brought back in hope for each of us as individuals and hope for humanity as a whole. And that reset button, many of people felt it energetically towards the end of the year, like, okay, there's hope for 2021, there's hope for the future, there's change coming, change that progresses humanity and change that really honours each member in our society. And that certainly is the seed of 2021, but it's not as though that's, miraculously overnight in 2021 everything's going to change. It's just not, unfortunately, how it's going to happen. 2021 is a year that is asking us to come together as a whole, to realise that, we're not all just little drops in the ocean, we are the ocean. That my problems are your problems, that your problems are my problems, that what happens to this person in this country impacts this person in this country 5,000 miles away. It's to come back together to our interconnectedness, to the fact that we are actually one, and to understand and respect that and realize that we need to take steps that bring us back together as a whole. This is really about bringing back equality and justice to greater society. And for each of us as individuals, this is really about us tapping into that and understanding that we, each of us, we the people, play a unique role in the healing of our society. So we may think, well, I do this job and I can't understand how I'm going to play a role that helps bring humanity together or that helps heal humanity. But actually, each of us has a unique gift and a skill set, and each of us has a beautiful role in this bigger jigsaw puzzle. It's like we're like a piece of the puzzle that put together means that humanity starts to heal and people come together again, and that we live in a way that isn't just beneficial for certain people, for like the 1%, if you want to call it that, but is beneficial for all levels of society. So this is a year of great hope and optimism, and this is a great year for opportunity. However, with that comes this kind of hangover from 2020, astrologically and in many other ways, that there is still the rubbles and the ashes of destruction of 2020. And it's not as though things are going to change suddenly overnight and that, someone's going to wave a magic wand and we're going to experience this new way of living and being with each other that honours all people. So with that in mind, we have to be prepared that in 2021, there are going to be challenges for us. As we come closer to coming together, we will be realising how much we have come apart. We will be realising how much work needs to be done for us to truly come together. So it's almost as though sometimes you can feel as though you're taking 2 steps backwards before you can take a step forward, or you take 1 step forward and then you take 2 steps backwards. And so it feels a little bit as though, we're not making that progression and we're not having that momentum that we need to push forwards. But in actuality, we are this year. We will be doing that. It's just that sort of taking 1 step forward and taking 2 steps backwards is really about us learning what it is going to take from each of us and from all the structures in our society, from our leaders, our political leaders, the people in government, the authority figures, from all the old institutions and structures that have been set up that rule our societies. We're going to realise what needs to happen to change within those infrastructures, within those leaderships, leaders, political leaders, governments, etc., all these authority figures, and within each of us as individuals, so that we can really make those changes to bring us all together. So this year is going to be very much one of, yes, hope and optimism for the future, but also one that is a learning curve, one in which each of us are going to be learning lessons about how we can change and transform within ourselves and externally in our lives to be part of this new sort of world that we're birthing. And it's going to be lessons that all of us as students learning, everybody from those in government to those of us who are ordinary individuals. This is not about sort of saying it's just that, normal people who have to learn lessons, or, it's as though those who are in government and in positions of power have all the answers. This is about us all learning lessons as a collective, which I think personally is a really beautiful thing, because it shows us that interconnectedness, that we're all just humans, Something I like to say to people is that with the work I do, I am a teacher and I am a guide, but I also like to tell people that I'm an eternal student. And I think that that's one of the things this year we're going to understand, which is that we are eternal students and we're all learning new things about ourselves and about others and this process of life. And in order to birth something new, we have to learn how to do that. So it is very much going to be a year of learning. It's also going to be a year which requires patience. I know that with everything that happened with COVID last year, and obviously at the end of the year, we had the joyous news that there was a vaccine available, but unfortunately, that vaccine is not going to be a cure-all to say, okay, everyone's safe now, you've had the vaccine and life can simply go back to normal. In fact, the truth is that we're going to learn in 2021 that there is no going back to normal. There isn't the going back to the normal of 2019 and before 2019. Instead, what's happening is that we're creating a new normal. And so with that, our patience may be tested over the next year as we try things happen and we say, okay, well, this many people have been vaccinated, or okay, well, flights are going to open up again, or, we're going to be able to travel again, we're going to be able to do all these things and gather together again. And actually, again, with that analogy of one step forwards and two steps back, it will feel like we're making progress to going back to some type of normality, but then we will go 2 steps backwards because we are not able to really go back to exactly as life was. We are birthing something new that is going to look different, and that process is going to take place over the next year. One of the questions people ask me all the time as an astrologer is, when will life go back to normal? When will I be able to do this, that, and the other? And, I'm saying the advice I give to everyone is what I'm practicing for myself, because I do practice what I teach, which is we have to take each day as it comes. We have to take each month as it comes over the next year or so, and understand that sometimes there will be developments which make us feel as though life is going back to some kind of normality, and then something happens to throw a curveball into that. And when the curveball gets thrown into that, you can feel as though we're being restricted again, but really it's just asking us for patience to understand that, we need to go through this process as a collective. And so at times that's going to mean really learning lessons. I always say with learning lessons that we have to learn lessons many times in order to integrate them to really move forward. So patience is a big theme of this next year, as well as hope and optimism, and as well as, understanding this process that's going to take place. Next year is going to be a year of innovation. I believe that we are going to see many wonderful ideas being birthed, wonderful ideas that involve technology and science, and these are ideas that are going to help humanity as a whole. So these are ideas that are going to address environmental issues. These are going to be ideas that address, things like food waste. These are going to be ideas that address how we can shop, live, and consume in a better, more sustainable way. So I think sustainability is going to be big next year. The environment is going, for this next year to come, the environment is going to be a big theme, and I think that we're going to see amazing human inventions. We're going to see the genius of different human beings who come out with these out-of-the-box ideas that really help all of us as a whole. These are ideas that contribute to humanity, and they are going to probably involve technology, and technology is something that we're going to see. If we thought we were on Zoom a lot last year, we're going to be seeing ourselves on technology a lot over the next year, because social distancing isn't going to end overnight, and it's not something that it will end eventually, and we will go back to being able to hug people and gather in big groups again, but we are going to be learning to work and live in a different way that involves technology. So technological innovation and fantastic ideas and strokes of genius by people that help humanity as a whole are all going to be things that are going to take place over the next 12 months. Now, I hope that the things that I've shared with you doesn't make you feel sad or frustrated about the year to come, because I want you to know that this is very much a year which we should be optimistic about the future, but we have to understand that just as the Great Conjunction took place, that was planting a seed in the cosmos and a seed in our consciousness for a beautiful change that is going to take place over the years, and that we are clearing up over the next 12 months some of the mess from 2020. And so understandably, I don't know about you, but I know for me, when I've cleaned up after a house party, it's taken a long time to clean up the mess, right? And so in that sense, it's going to take a while to clean up some of the mess and the hangover as such from 2020. And we all need to have hope, optimism, resilience, and patience during that time, and understand that each of us has a beautiful gift to share with greater society, and understand that we, the people, are the ones with the ideas and with the passion and with the ability to make changes in our worlds. It's not just about our leaders changing our world, it's also about us as individuals being capable of making a better world for ourselves and for everybody around us. So please do be optimistic for next year, but please do have patience and resilience, and please know that you watching this have an idea potentially that could be something that could help humanity as a whole, and it could be something that ends up being your passion and even your profession, and make the space to connect to that. Now, with everything I've shared, I wanted to share with you all a short but sweet sound bath. And really, a sound bath is it's as though you're being bathed in sounds and vibrations. And really, you just allow yourself to hear and listen and connect to those sounds and vibrations, and let them guide you in a meditation experience. in this sound bath that I'm going to be playing, you're going to hear these crystal alchemy gemstone bowls, which are very special. They've got a beautiful sound and vibration. And I invite you, when you listen to these sounds and vibrations, to think about those themes of hope, of optimism, of resilience, of patience, of innovation, and to think that over the next year we're building something new, and not to get too caught up in the day-to-day drama or the delays that are disappointing, but just to hold on to that hope, that optimism, and that faith in the future. And maybe inviting the meditation experience and the sounds and vibrations to help you to energetically connect to that over the next year and beyond, as a kind of new year cosmic reset. So I invite you to close your eyes, take a few deep inhalations and exhalations, and just get settled into the space that you're going to receive this sound bath in. Just allowing all the muscles in your body to relax. And then inviting the sounds and vibrations to come in, to help work with your energy body, your mind, body and soul, so that you can plant the seeds for this next year of transformation, of you becoming a better version of yourself and contributing to greater society. keeping your eyes closed. And just inhaling deeply through your nose. Exhaling and sighing out of your mouth. Just taking in these energies. Taking in this cosmic consciousness for 2021. And just committing to having faith, optimism, patience and resilience. Trusting in your own innate ability and genius to be innovative over the next year. To be a student and become a master. To learn things that help you live in a much more beautiful and effortless way. A way that is harmonious with planet Earth and Mother Nature and all beings. Trusting that by you doing so, you are going to help everyone else around you. Having that faith, having that resilience, that optimism, that patience over the next year. As you and I, as each of us, rebuild our beautiful new world and lives. And just taking the next few moments to just slowly flutter your eyes open once again, just gently opening them and allowing the light to flutter in. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit reset. Thank you so much for sharing your New Year's Day with me. My name is Ambi Kavanaugh, and this was a soul astrology sound bath with a little cosmic consciousness to help you plant the right seeds for 2021 and beyond. Thank you so much for having me. Namaste.
Welcome to Abracadabra TV.
Live exclusively on Twitch.